everyone, it's Sammy from Sammy's Sweet Life and welcome to my January wrap-up chit-chat video. I'm posting this a little bit late because I am just backed up on videos right now. I have filmed so many videos. I haven't had time to edit them yet. I did get a part-time job, so I'm going to talk all about that in this video. I'm going to talk about house stuff. There's lots of house stuff to talk about. And I also just want to talk about life. I feel like I've processed some things and I'm ready to talk about some things. So I guess we'll start with that. I picked a word for this year. This is the first year I've ever done the one little word thing, and I'm not really associating it with my scrapbook stuff, although that's part of it. I'm associating it with my life. My word is ignite, and it covers a lot of things for me. I wasn't going to do the one little word, but as I was looking through other people's one little word on some scrapbook blogs, people were leaving comments what their word was. I saw the word ignite, and it ignited something in me. I couldn't be cheesier, could I? So I picked the word and I wrote my little notes on my phone. So I kind of want to talk about what I wrote here. It encompasses a lot of what I want to do. Ignite my YouTube game, reignite my scrapbook and blogging passion, ignite project life, which I started on my other channel, ignite new friendships. You know, we just moved, so I'm igniting my life in Texas, ignite some passion and success within myself, and that's kind of vague. I really don't know what I'm referring to, but I want to feel that passion again, and I am. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Basically ignite my fire again about really finding myself again after having a baby. I kind of lost myself after having a baby, and it's just really, really true. I did really lose part of my spark and part of my passion and part of my fire, and it's been 5 months since I stopped breastfeeding, so I feel like my hormones are much more regulated now, and I feel like I'm back. I feel like myself again. My little girl's turning 2 at the end of this month, which I'll talk about again. I have a note in my thing about this. I just feel more me, and it took a while to get here. I feel like I'm a pretty laid-back mom, but it takes all of me to be her mom, and it is all-consuming when you're in the throes of motherhood. But we're really getting to this place now where she's becoming more independent. I just feel like we're in a great place. She's not nursing anymore, and it did take a while after she stopped nursing, and I think that was really part of when the dogs all passed away, this part of this drop that I had. It was, I think, a little bit of post-nursing depression mixed in with the mourning of the dogs. So I think I was a little bit blue. I started feeling really good. I think when I posted my last chat, I'd been feeling good. Well, I feel great now. I feel so much better. I feel totally back to myself. And so that word really just stuck with me. We're kind of getting used to being here. I still don't feel settled because, we're building the house and it's in a different part of town, and I just don't feel settled with that, but I definitely feel more comfortable being here. I think having the part-time job helped with this, which I'll talk more about that in a second. So let's talk about Olivia for just a minute. She's gonna be 2 in a couple of weeks. Oh my goodness. At the end of this month. Her birthday's the 28th of February, so it's very, very soon. By the time you guys see this, it'll be even sooner because I'm backed up on editing my videos right now. But I am just so in love with her more and more every day. She's just so cute, and she is incredibly smart, and I just have so much fun with her. I know I've talked about this in other videos, but we've really gotten to this place where in the morning, mommy works, and it's not necessarily the work I'm talking about. It can be scrapbooking, it can be editing a video, it can be just sitting on the computer for a couple of minutes. I usually work about 30 to 45 minutes in the morning, and if she's on a roll and she's busy playing, I'll work even longer. It can go up to about an hour, and she's really good. She'll just go play by herself. She'll come up and talk to me. I have to help her with things here and there, but it's just been such a good new routine for us. She's completely thriving with it, and I love it. It's been really, really nice to have that little morning break. And so I will talk all about going-ons with her in a different video. After her 2-year birthday, she's got her doctor's appointment really close to her birthday. So I'll have her stats, and I want to have questions. If you have any questions related to toddlerhood and motherhood, anything at all, leave those in the comment section down below, and I will answer those as part of that 2-year update video that I'm gonna do all about her. I've just got lots and lots to talk about as far as all of her developments are concerned. The next thing on my list is work. So I now work for Freckled Fawn. FreckledFawn.com. I'll leave a link in the description box down below. I know not all of you guys are crafty people, but it's a scrapbooking crafting company. So they make 2 monthly kits. They do an embellishment kit and they do a planner kit. And so it just incorporates all the things I love. I've been a kit subscriber almost for 3 years. So I was a subscriber to their kit. I was on their design team. And then when this position opened up, I jumped at the chance. And so I still kind of can't believe that I got the job. My official job title is Creative Team Director. So I run their design team, I run their blog, I help with social media, I'm working on growing their YouTube channel. So it's all the things I already absolutely love. I love this company. I love the people behind the company. And so it's just like a dream come true job for me. And what makes it even better is it's only a couple of hours a day, and I work it around Olivia's schedule, like completely around her schedule. I work some during her nap time. I work after she goes to bed. Sometimes I work in that little morning section of time. It's just absolutely perfect. I couldn't have even imagined a more perfect job. It's my favorite scrapbook company. It's working around my little girl. It's a little extra money. It's just really fun. But going along with that, I'm working about 2 hours a day, I'd say on average. That sucks up a lot of my what would be editing time and video making time. If you're one of my diehard fans here, you'll realize some videos haven't gone up. I've skipped days here and there that I wouldn't normally skip. Videos have gone up later in the day because I haven't had them done by 9 a.m. because I'm working too, and I'm really trying to come up with a balance. I only have so many hours in the day, and my priority is my little girl. She's gonna be starting preschool in like a year and a half. So things will definitely change at that point in time. Right now I have very limited times for editing things. And part of my thing is I can film videos, but I'm so awkward. I can't edit them to the level that I've been editing them. So you're gonna get more awkward footage, I think, is what I'm really gonna compromise with. So when I film these videos, I say a lot. I look down at my paper a lot. I'm not gonna be cutting all of that out anymore. You're gonna get more like authentic, awkward Sammy, because I just don't have the time to edit the videos to that level. And so when you see my videos, you see like little jump cuts here and there where it's even like mid-sentence, I'm jumping to a little different clip. That's because I'm repeating myself and saying the thing again because I looked to the side, I said I misspoke, I mispronounced something, I have to say it again. So I'm not doing that as much anymore. I don't have the time or the energy to do it now that I'm working. So you're welcome and I'm sorry at the same time. You're still gonna get the videos, but they're just not gonna be as like clean cut. So I hope you guys understand that, and I hope it doesn't distract you guys too much. I really do like the clean edited videos where I make it as short as humanly possible for you guys, and I cut out the repeating stuff, because when I start talking about something, I can like ramble on, repeat myself 5 different ways, and ultimately when I'm editing my video, I cut it down to saying it one time. So I'm polishing it a little bit better. I just can't do that anymore. So that's how it's gonna be. So like my little blurb I wrote for this: working 2 hours a day is taking precious YouTube time, need to do less editing. Trying to do one take and minimal editing, even though I'm horrible at speaking, too many pauses and ums. I also don't want to let out all the crazies, so I'm going to work on editing less and talking like I can't edit it out. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do with this video. I'm going to still edit, I'm going to cut out some things where I just totally flat out mess up things, but I'm just going to edit a whole lot less. And the videos just aren't going to be as polished. And I also have an idea on here: fewer videos, but better videos maybe. So maybe just stick to the very very concise schedule with my videos. I usually post about 3 videos a week with the Plan With Me video. That's 4 videos a week. Sometimes I throw in an extra video, so that's up to 5 videos a week on this channel. I am hardcore doing my scrapbook channel now too, so that's a few more videos. I just don't have the time to edit all those videos, so I'm gonna have to cut it down and pick just my favorite videos to make and put up just my favorite videos. So this is all a work in progress, and you're kind of seeing the crazy behind the scenes thoughts that are going into my new routine and my new plans for everything. So going along with that, I'm definitely just trying to find that balance, trying not to go overboard. I get really obsessive with things, and my grandfather was like this too. He just dives full force into whatever he's doing, and that's how I am about things. I'm really obsessive with things, and so I'm just trying to rein myself in a little bit, not get super obsessive with my work stuff, not get super obsessive with YouTube stuff. I'm finding a good balance. So my next thing on my list is talking about my Amazon Prime photo backup thing that I'm doing. So I have been pretty much consistently taking 1,000 photos every month, and I've been going through them and kind of narrowing them down a lot better because Olivia is so quick. She runs. I get lots of blurry photos. I just flat out delete most of those now, but I have like thousands and thousands of photos. I've been working this whole month trying to transfer my photos off of my computer, off of the camera, memory cards, because I take some photos with my big camera. I take most of them with my phone though. I've been slowly transferring them all because I have run out of space on my phone. I've been using the iCloud Drive. That's just an Apple thing. I pay extra for extra storage on there, and I'm just running out of space. It's bogging down my phone, and it's just been a really unpleasant experience to run out of space on my phone and not be able to take photos sometimes when I want them. And how the iCloud Drive works is super duper annoying. There's no way with this iCloud Drive thing, I've got all of my photos on my phone, and right now it says I have 11,337 photos on my phone. And it just saves like a really small resolution photo onto my phone, and I have to, it'll show up a little bit blurry, and I don't know if you guys can see, there's a little like circle thing that loads right there. It downloads it back to your phone from your iCloud Drive, and that's all in good. I love that system, but I can't delete them from my phone without deleting them from my iCloud Drive. So it's not a real backup. It still has to be on my phone in order to stay on the iCloud Drive, which doesn't make sense to me. I just don't like that system. I'm still furious, like thinking about this. I wish if I had thought about it, I wish I had picked a different backup system many months ago when I decided to pick this one. I thought it was just going to be an easy backup system that I can look at my pictures still, delete them if I wanted to off of my phone, and I can't delete them because they're out of my backup. So I'm moving all of my photos to Amazon Prime Photos, which gives me unlimited photo storage because I'm an Amazon Prime member. But the downside is I have to move all the photos over. It does some from my phone automatically, like the newer ones that I've been taking. It takes them straight off of my phone easily. I can still delete them from my phone. It keeps them on my Amazon Drive. 11,337 pictures on my phone. So far I've moved about 6,000 photos to my drive. I also have like just USB drives just full of photos. I've got like 3 or 4 of those just completely full of photos as backups that aren't included in that 11,000 number. So I'm just really working on this massive photo transfer project. So that's been sucking up some of my other free time, just trying to get this all done so my phone's not bogged down with all those photos. Anyway, the next thing on my list is weight loss. I don't know where I was at the end of last month. I didn't watch the December video, but I am at 163 as of this morning, which is amazing. I really just don't remember, but I think the lowest I got while breastfeeding her was 162 to 164, somewhere in there. So I'm right at the lowest point in the last 2 years, and I'm just so happy with that. I'm really just trying to work out, trying to eat right, and it's been paying off. I've been really consistently losing like half a pound to a pound, sometimes a pound and a half a week, and it's been It's been really nice. My pre-pregnancy weight was 156, 157, so I'm really trying to get back to that. Ideally, I probably should be around 150, 145. I don't know if I can get down that much because I love food too much. With my weight loss, I've been trying to walk. We take walks. I haven't been doing the elliptical all that much. The main thing I've really done is just not snack. And so I give myself a couple of cheat meals or cheat things. So during the week, I try really hard to stick to, 3 solid meals and 2 solid snacks a day. And they're all mostly healthy stuff, of course, processed stuff too. I really like chips, but the one like OCD crazy thing I'm doing is I'm measuring out my chips. I just measure them out because if I just get the bag of chips, I will eat the entire bag of chips. So that's my biggest weakness. I just really have to watch that. But other than that, I try to stick away from really sugary snacks, really processed sugary type of things. I've been really good about that. I give myself sweet treat Wednesday, so we get some sort of sweet dessert for Wednesday, and then also Saturday. So 2 days a week, I'm having sweets if I want sweets. So far, I've taken advantage of every Wednesday and every Saturday consistently because I love my food, guys. I'm not going to give up food, but I think that's a really good compromise to, have those 2 cheat things a week. I really want to stick to more like, 80-20, eat really good 80% of the time, 20% of the time you don't really care. I also usually go out to lunch 1 time a week, and we usually have like 1 junky dinner, usually we'll order takeout. So that's me eating out maybe 2 times a week and having junky stuff, 2 desserts a week. So I think that's really, really good. That's way better than where I just was not keeping track of things. I was mindlessly eating. It's still not perfect. It's still not great. And I don't think it ever will be. I think I really just like food enough that I'm going to have those splurges, and I'm not going to beat myself up over that kind of stuff. And I never have. I never have really felt guilty over food. And I probably never will feel guilty over food. I think food's one of those pleasurable things, and I can't make it into that. But what I've been doing has worked really well. I've really eaten pretty much everything that I wanted to eat, just in moderation, just in normal portion sizes. And it's been paying off. I really have seen the results. My pants are getting looser and I'm feeling really good. The next thing I've got on my list is the no spend January. I think we did really good. It wasn't no spend. We still went out to eat. I don't think we were perfect at it. We definitely spent some money. We did still go out to eat. That's like our one thing that we like to do. We like to order takeout. We like to go out to eat for lunches. My main victory though was staying away from Target. We had gotten into a really bad habit, and I say we as in Olivia and I, like she's deciding it's really me taking Olivia with me, but we would go to Target every week and drop major money. And on what? I have no idea. I would get some groceries, but most of it is just totally useless stuff that we never think about otherwise. So I think I went into Target like once or twice during the month, and that was it. And it was mostly groceries, and it was sticking to a list and not much else. I really feel great about how much we spent and how much we saved last month. We are about to buy a house in the next few months, so I think it's a really good thing for us to just keep going with this. So the next thing I have on my list is kind of a budget follow-up. I had talked about, we're going to buy the house, and I talked about it's a significantly more expensive house than the house we had in Champaign. The part I kind of want to talk about is how we're going to afford this more expensive house. Like, the monthly payment's going to be more, and I probably should have covered this in my budget video. It's one of those things I looked back, I was like, why didn't I talk about this? So I wanted to talk about it here. It's my budget follow-up part. I've got lots of different parts that go into this. So the first thing is there's no state income tax in Texas. So that right there is a 4% raise right off the bat. The second part is my husband got 2 raises last year. So that is a significant increase in his income. Both raises were good sized raises, and so our income is way more than it was in Champaign. Point number 3, we spent an obscene amount of money on the dogs. We had 4 dogs, one with big time chronic health issues that cost us a lot of money. And then the other 2 were getting old. They cost us a lot of money. We had 2 dogs on prescription dog food. We had 3 dogs on lots of meds. We spent an obscene amount on money. Like, I don't even even want to tell you guys how much money. Like, my husband looked back at our budget over the last 2 years and averaged it out, and it's like a rent payment. It was a lot of money, and I didn't realize that it was that much money until after they were already gone, and after we just looked back at the budget, just trying to make sure, you know, that everything was in line, we could afford the new house. We didn't realize how much money was just being poured into the dogs, especially the dog with the chronic health condition. So that right there is like the difference in the mortgage payment. Even if you don't count the raises, even if you don't count the state income tax, it's just the dogs. So now the last point in this is I have a confession. We did not put 20% down on our house in Champaign. The first reason is we were straight out of college, broke kids. We had saved money, but we did not have 20% to put down. We would have rented and then saved up for 20% down, but we had those 4 dogs. We were moving to a small town, and you just can't find rentals that take 4 dogs. I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous to have 4 dogs in the first place, and nobody's gonna rent to people with 4 dogs. And so we just knew we weren't gonna be able to rent. And so we just bought with less money down, and that meant we paid PMI. We paid almost $300 extra on our mortgage just because we didn't have that 20% down. PMI is private mortgage insurance, and you have to have that if you don't put 20% down on a house. And so looking back, I'm happy that we made the decision that we had made, because I would not have given up my dogs for that. It wouldn't have mattered how much extra we would have paid in PMI or whatever. We were taking the dogs with us. And so that was just our situation. We had a month to figure out our living. So we bought a house and we didn't put the 20% down. But looking back, I would never recommend getting PMI. Basically, you're throwing money down the drain every month, and we did, and it was a stupid thing to do. But when we decided to get the house, we got a significantly cheaper house than we could afford. The bank actually approved us for over $100,000 more than the house we ended up purchasing. So we definitely got a house we could afford. Our monthly payment was really comfortable, even with the extra $300 a month. So I would definitely say don't ever get more house than you can really afford, especially if you're not putting 20% down. You need to make sure you can afford that monthly payment, and we made sure that we could, even with the extra PMI. So the moral of the story is always put 20% down on your house so you don't throw money away like we did. So looking forward, you know, that's $300 a month more that we can pay towards our monthly mortgage payment since we're not paying the PMI. So that right there is another reason we can afford the more expensive house. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that with you guys, because I know I kind of left it hanging where I'm like, we're getting this much more expensive house, but I didn't tell you all the things that kind of went into that. So let's go ahead and dive into the house stuff. Right now, they're still working on the exterior. The house got framed this month. They are installing windows right now, and they're working on the cornices, the edges of the rooftop. They're going to be painting that trim layer. They're working on all the outside walls. I don't know what they do with all the, you know, all the layers of the house. They're sealing up different things with the framing that they have to seal up. They're going to be putting on the roof soon. So we're really getting the outside of the house really nicely done. And they said by the end of February, we can have our third-party inspection. It's called the pre-drywall inspection. It's like all the wiring and the piping and the plumbing and all the electric stuff's all put in the house, and then they put up the drywall. So it's that last step right before the drywall goes up where you can have an inspector inspect everything, make sure everything's up to code. Of course, you know, the builder has their own inspector people, but we wanted a third party, you know, just to make sure everything's cool, just to make sure. I don't think it can hurt having more eyes, just double check everything. And that's a really cool thing about being able to build the house, is we do get to check all those things and double check everything that you can't really look at when you're purchasing a house. They can't go inside the walls and look at everything like they can when you build. I just have loved watching the process of the house get built, especially like the framing. One day the bottom level would be done, the next day the second level was getting done. I about lost my stuff when I saw that round staircase go in. Oh my gosh. That's one of the reasons we went with the floor plan that we did, is I just love that staircase. We are having a 2-story living room. So it's a grand living room space, which I have always dreamed of having. And so it overlooks with the balcony at the staircase, and it's just gorgeous. And I just can't believe that it's going to be our house. I'm just so incredibly excited about the house. And I just can't wait to see it get done. And I really liked the whole process of looking. So anyway, I had on my list, I want to talk about like the upgrade things that we got. I probably will do some sort of like building experience video talking about all the steps that went into building and why we chose to build and all those kind of details in a separate video after the house has already been done. And I'll probably do a Q&A to go along with that too. But now I just want to talk about like the cool upgrades that we got, or the upgrades that I think are like noteworthy that I'm excited about. We got a couple of really, really cool features that have the potential to be cool. We have to kind of do more things for them. We got what they call the pre-wiring done. So we got the house pre-wired for a central vacuum. And if you don't know what a central vacuum is, look it up. Super duper cool thing. But we got all the piping and stuff done in the walls for that. We just have to actually install the vacuum part itself. And the reason we did this was budget friendly thing. We didn't want the central vacuum stuff and the other stuff that I'm going to talk about in a second. We didn't want that wrapped into our mortgage. We want to just pay cash for that outright after everything's done. We'll do that through the same company that's doing our pre-wire, but we just didn't want it wrapped into our mortgage. We didn't have to pay for it in our mortgage for 30 years. It's just much cheaper to just pay for it outright. So we'll get the central vac installed at some point after we have the house. The other thing that's going to be installed is a basic security system, but the way the house is wired, it can be a smart house. And again, if you don't know what a smart house is, look it up. You know, all the stuff, so I can control the stuff in my house using my phone or using a little keypad touchscreen thing. So we're planning on getting a smart house installation done at some point. But again, we didn't want it wrapped into our mortgage. And the other thing we did was we did surround sound. So there'll be surround sound in that grand living room space. There'll be wiring outside in the back, so that'll be really cool. And there's also going to be wiring in our bathroom, our master bathroom, because I like to listen to audiobooks or music while I'm taking a soak or while I'm getting ready. So it's just going to be wired in, which will be so cool. I'll just be able to control it with a remote. I'm excited that the house will have all these really cool features. Of course, you know, we have to pay for the rest of the VAC system. We have to pay for the surround sound, the speakers and stuff, but we have the wiring done, and we decided to go ahead and do the wiring because it's just so much easier for them to do it while the house is being built versus trying to go back and install surround sound at a later time. They have to rip up walls, and it's just not an easy process. I'm also super excited. We're going to have a covered patio, and like I said, we've got the wiring for the speakers out there, so that'll be really cool. We can play music, or we can have it hooked up to the TV, so if Johnny's watching football and he's grilling, he can still hear the TV as he's out there on the patio. So it's going to be really, really cool. Like some of these things that they were talking about with the smart house, I didn't really have any idea about. I think this company that we worked with to do all the cool smart house type of stuff is like really top notch. They're on the edge of technology, and so it was really cool to be able to see all these features and get to pick the ones that we wanted to pick. We have a front porch, which is really cool. I really wanted a porch. I don't know if I've talked about all these details, but our house is going to be 4 bedrooms. There's also a formal dining room space, and there's also a loft space. So of course, you know, we'll have the master. Olivia's going to have one of the bedrooms. We plan on doing a guest room in one of the bedrooms with Johnny's office, and then I'm going to have a scrapbook room, and then we still have a loft space and that dining room space that will both be playrooms. I'll probably have a desk in one of those so I can still do some stuff while she's running around playing. But there's just going to be a lot of space in the house, and I'm really excited to have such an open floor plan and have lots of space. There's also 2 attic spaces, which are really cool, that you can get to by the doors. You don't have to like climb up in an attic, which is what we've been used to before. So that'll be nice to have that extra storage space for like seasonal Christmas stuff. Anyway, that's it. I'm losing my daylight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.